Our subject is the view of drug users' organizations on harm reduction. This is dedicated to a lovely friend who told me to let my heart speak, and that's exactly what I'll do here. I send my love and respect to all drug users' organizations for their hard work and beautiful ideals. They have really changed my life. Drug users' organizations, what they are. They could be called dreamers' visions, communal acts, or counter-attack revolutions, as all of these ratings could be equally justified. We simply call them active movements tapped on the side of our brothers and sisters across the world who suffer a terrible, absurdly harmful war and need our voice to publicly cry out loud that we're here to demand and get a fairer and equitable future for us and the next generations. Moreover, these massive movements, born and empowered in more and more countries every day, are the silent commitment to each other that our slogan, "Nothing about us without us," is unanimously decided by all drug users' organizations. It needs stubbornness. Drug user activism is an achievement attributed to all drug users around the globe who decided to stand up against the violations of their rights and the inefficient drug policies and demand participation in their own lives. Our involvement in activism is conquered within years of effort, persistence, and certainty that we are capable to drastically contribute to decision-making by proposing more realistic measures to address our community's issues than the existing ones. Who says it's easy to organize a movement consisting of hundreds of different personalities, minds, attitudes, views, specificities, and backgrounds? Who says it's easy to start a union and suddenly get to handle a bunch of boring and typical legal and economical procedures when you never had a clue of bureaucracy? Who says it's easy to mobilize so many frustrated and exhausted people who have stopped believing in their power of making plans? And who says it's easy to convince them, after all, that in a hostile homeland that makes them feel invisible and unwanted, they hold the hope of chance in the palm of their hands and in the sound of their voices? Not easy, not at all. But thankfully, some of this range of mysterious people who had never had a goal but finding their dope had a hidden ace in their sleeves beyond their own knowledge. They had passion. Damn it, we're full of it, over our blood. We, passionate drug user activists, take our role and our mission very seriously. We want to change our world, and we do everything within our powers to make it. Our passion makes us who we are. And our power is not discouraged by your sourness, lady. Some first assumptions. It is clearly acknowledged that Europe is divided in two levels of harm magnitude. Countries where drug user activism is older and more prominent usually have a more flexible and debatable political system concerning drug policy, often accompanied by economic comfort to support harm reduction infrastructure, and thus have created a social perspective more familiarized with the drug culture. For example, Switzerland, Germany, Netherlands, Norway, Spain. Not that they've solved their problems. Assumptions, Chapter 2. Another group of countries with short history in the drug user movement or currently developing their forces, with separate political parties having no consensus on drug policy, or even worse, carrying discriminating and racist positions toward drug users' population, often accompanied by problematic economic rates, generate an immense social hatred directly expressed to drug users who experience unbelievable forms of harm brutality. Greece, Cyprus, Turkey. Well, we didn't discover America. You know all about harm. Harm is here, now, and has many faces. Homelessness, no acceptance of drug users or HIV-positive people in hostels and shelters, no OST, hepatitis C, or proper HIV treatment in prisons, inadequate syringe needle exchange and distribution, no drug consumption rooms, no drug users' access to naloxone, strict prison sentences for drug users, even for micro quantities, non-existent medical services and punitive rules in OST programs, lack of information and disrespect to drug users by experts, welfare benefits cut down, no occupation opportunities for drug users in harm reduction structures, ignorance over new cheap and dangerous substances, neglect, stigmatization, no highlighting of the dangers of infections, no objective perception of the actual size of harm of the drug users community, and so many more. Some examples. In Athens, it takes 4 years to be accepted in an OST program. The program has neither medical nor social services. If you're an OST member, you have no access to syringe exchange. The DCR covers very limited needs. From this year, drug users with hepatitis C, mental disorders, and other pathological problems are not entitled to welfare benefits. Athens Prison Hospital of Korydallos, the prison hosting the biggest amount of drug user convicts in Greece, was recorded by prisoner patients' camera, bringing into light the terrifying conditions they experience. Beds stacked one next to the other with no free room in between. One's head is close to the other's feet. Cockroaches on the mattresses. Broken bathrooms, broken windows in the showers, leaving people freezing in winter. Bad food and one doctor for the whole prison hospital. People amputated and developing gangrene, HIV patients, and one with Kaposi sarcoma, patients with advanced cancer and heart problems, left there all alone waiting for their death and filling their heads with handfuls of pills to keep them silent on their beds. What do you think about that? Who gives a dime about those drug users and other people rotting in Korydallos Hospital? And I left another one for the end. When a couple of drug users are having a baby in Greece, the hospital will not give them their child unless there is another clean person claiming to be raising it. Harm reduction wanted. Harm reduction means we accept that there is harm. We believe this harm is not caused by drugs themselves, but by the governments and the legislation that makes them illegal, and us, drug users, criminals. And as criminals, we're always prosecuted, excluded, and presented as the bad. In another context, we're absolutely functional, productive, and responsible people. That is what we accept from harm reduction, to become the counterweight to this model created by the state and synthesize the other context in which drug users will have a normal life. First of all, OST. We definitely need more OST programs. There are countries that have complete lack of them according to their needs. We need to define the function of these programs. In Greece, we have regular urine tests and people are thrown out even for cannabis use. This is unacceptable. There should be a uniformity in the regulation of OST programs and implement it across Europe. Substitution in prisons now. Drug use is major in prisons and some newly arrested drug users suffer badly, so the need for OST is an emergency. We need access to full range of medications, methadone, buprenorphine, morphine, heroin, recognizing the right of free will to choose ourselves our treatment substance, but also as a step towards the acceptance of heroin as a legal substance and its wider prescription. Our purpose is the decriminalization of drug use, the formation of a safe, controlled drug market, the end of prohibition and social change. Hostels for homeless drug users. Without a place to stay, a drug user cannot develop any interest for his health, damages his health, and is completely exposed to the risks of street life. Drug consumption rooms in every country, and to the extent they are needed. Countries are not only the capitals. They also have rural areas or smaller towns where drug users live and need a place where they can make use with confidentiality and safety. In Greek islands, we have hundreds of drug users with no harm reduction structures. Access to syringes all day and all night long. Syringe distribution must become more regular. Syringe exchange structures must be open as long as possible, and automatic machines should be installed in city areas. You want this? Or this? You want this or this? Okay. Okay. We have to trust naloxone to the hands of drug users. We have to stop deaths from overdoses with the hope that an ambulance will come straight away, that there will be naloxone in it, and that the overdosed person has enough time to make it. Naloxone should be in every place a drug user is. Among other things, we would like to underpin the value of drug user active involvement and employment in harm reduction facilities. In Greece, only 6 drug users work officially. They're street workers and former drug users. We believe we should be the ones that will run these places. Injecting rooms should be run by peers. Syringe exchange and reach-out groups should be run by peers, not only former drug users, but also drug users in treatment. Our union used heroin users to distribute some printed material and earn some money. This is a good example. OSD programs could use their members as employees according to their skills, as computer technicians, secretary, cleaner, outdoor work, etc., and enhance them in any way. We feel closer to drug users, we are drug users ourselves, and a different balance could be created. In closing, we request to give more light on hepatitis C prevention and treatment. Hepatitis C has become, as the Swedish Union says, a hidden and forgotten plague, and the information spread is not enough. We need a huge European campaign. We need to raise awareness, check the level of knowledge of the medical staff working with drug users, make known to public the progress of this silent disease, the need for treatment, and the new drugs available. Then, all these people asking for treatment will put pressure on pharmaceutical companies to reduce the costs. No more people should die of hepatitis C without any idea that it is curable and they could have been saved. In closing, there could be so many more things to say, but then we would never leave this place. Harm reduction has the role to make drug users' life easier and to relieve them from the unbearable difficulty to find a place to shoot up, to find a syringe right at midnight, to find an alternative to their written-off rights. We believe in harm reduction, we support it, and we would support it even stronger if we had the chance, as we do with everything we take over, with passion. Picture 1. Drug users. Picture 2, drug users. We used to be like this, like picture 1, and we've become like this today, picture 2. It all depends on harm reduction. Which of the two options do you choose for us?